Hello everyone, today's topic of discussion is prep providers, and it's an interesting one. If I was to do a video 5 years ago, I'd be saying no to prep providers. Find the cheapest way to complete the CFA program, which is just give all the levels in your first attempt, pass them, and there you go. That will cost you roughly about $2,500 if you pass all 3 levels and pay the registration fee and buy yourself the calculator. But it's going to be very challenging. For me, my perception on prep providers has changed. If I was to be asked about it now, I'd say they're a bit like Google Maps and navigation. You know, if you want to reach from point A to point B in a very congested city, a very large city, you may get lost without the help of Google Maps or whatever map that you're using. And the prep providers navigate, you know, give you shortcuts, give you regular updates in terms of when you're going to reach your destination, how far you are, and whether there are any alternative routes that you need to take. So that's my thinking of them at this moment in time. Obviously they're not free like Google Maps, and the reality is that they shouldn't. You know, a lot of time is spent on the materials, professor time, shooting the videos, whatnot. There's a whole raft of work that is put in to provide the content that comes out. So do appreciate all of that. If you look at the CFAI website, there are approximately 40 odd approved prep providers, and there must be tons of unapproved providers, I'm sure, out there that might also be good. But what was interesting was that some of the CFA society across the various cities in the world are also the approved prep providers, so that was interesting. I'll focus my attention on 5 providers. I've known them a fair bit. Their marketing may be solid, or just the word of mouth may be strong. And let's look at some of their pricing structures in terms of what they fetch. Obviously, most of the prep providers basically have an essential service, which is the basic service, and then they go all the way up to premium service. Probably the most recognized is Kaplan Schweizer. You get lots of marketing material from them as well. Not only CFA, they provide prep material for other exams as well. And the fee is up there. It's not cheap, nor the essential package, nor the premium package. Very similar is Wiley, and they kind of have a step pricing for each of the levels. You do get discounts every now and then for Kaplan Schweizer and Wiley. I think you get them for all the providers, and essentially early on they're not discounted, but as you move closer to exam date, I think the price keeps dropping, and you can get anywhere from 15 to 50% off for some of the prep material. Then there's also Bloomberg. I think they offer money-back guarantee if you've, I think, finished 95% of the material and you still end up failing. I mean, that's a pretty bold statement. IFT by Irfanullah. He's one of the cheaper ones. His material is also very modular. Some of the other ones are modular as well. You can buy just the, say, practice question sets, or just the video series, or just notes. But IFT goes all the way up to, you know, essentially you can just buy the formula sheet, and there you go. So his ones are quite modular. And then you have Mark Meldrum. I think he's the cheapest out there. It's a kind of like all access. He doesn't have tiered levels of service, though he might do that in the future. Although he is offering topic by topic or section by section as well, in case you only need more help with certain sections, he's able to do that as well. So these are the 5 that I know of quite well. And look, I mean, do your own research, find out what exactly you want from the program, how much of the services you're going to use. And I'm not going to say which one is favorite or which one is not, because for that I would have had to have gone through each of them, which I haven't. And it also depends on whether you're getting these paid for by your company, or you're having to pay for them yourselves, because that can make a significant difference. The pricing structure does vary a lot from provider to provider. I do want to share my total cost of the CFA program and how much I spent on the prep providers, so hopefully you find this useful. So the program cost me 7,000 New Zealand dollars all up. It's roughly about 5,000 USD, 360,000 Indian rupees. 2 of the times I have been reimbursed by my company, so that is not added into the total. Otherwise, the total would have been approximately $8,500, I think. So let's start with level 1, $1,445. Did include a purchase of a calculator, so that was $60. But the main cost was the enrollment and the exam fee, which was 1,285 New Zealand dollars. I did attend these Schweizer mock exams that were held in one of the universities here, so that was $100 at the time. Level 1 was quite cheap, and level 2 was actually even cheaper, just over $1,000. Again, at this stage I wasn't using much of the providers. The CFA fee was $785. I used Analyst Notes. They had this, I think, thousands of questions that I was interested in, so it really helped with practice. And I also used this 11th hour guide from Wiley quite late in the piece. That was about $90 at the time, so that kind of made me go through level 2 pretty easily. And then came the speed breakers, level 3. Obviously the 4 attempts added up to $4,500, and it's where I also started using the prep providers extensively. The first couple of rounds I used IFT, the high yield videos. Now these were short videos that lasted about 20 minutes and gave good recaps of every topic. I found them quite useful. I was also buying formula sheets from IFT, and I think the notes kind of came free with the high yield videos, so didn't really look at them too much. And in my final year, the final attempt that I put through, I used Mark Meldrum. That cost about $400, and I must admit that was game changing. I think without Mark Meldrum's help and the way his videos gave me much more insight into level 3 than any other time. I think that was the decider for me, so highly recommend Mark. What I found with Mark was that his mock exams were, especially the morning ones, were extremely tough, and that can put a lot of people off, but it's also he really tests some principles really well, so it can also be an eye-opener for you if you are preparing for level 3. So yeah, that was my journey and use of prep providers in level 3 the most, because I was having some serious understanding gaps. Overall, again, I'd just like to reiterate that I think the prep providers do have their value, and if you can afford them, especially the ones that give good progress updates and have mock exams and even live study sessions or sessions where you can chat or connect with the professor. Those are very helpful indeed, because some of the concepts that you can get stuck with, these guys can make you understand those a lot better. And I think the curriculum is very vast. It's like an ocean out there, and if you keep studying and reading the curriculum, you will be burning a lot of time. So then to speed up and actually attempt the questions and whatnot, it can take a while. But look, I have known people who have not used the prep providers at all and have still passed. So varies from case to case. You got to know what position you stand in and how comfortable you are reading a lot. And let me know your thoughts. Which providers do you use? Which providers do you recommend? And what's your take as far as the costing is concerned? And yeah, that wraps up this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it and got some insights into the world of prep providers. I'll see you guys in the next one.